Good morning. All right. I'm trying this again with the microphone so that we can see if we can get this thing done pretty good. So, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn. If you're new here, I do things. I knit, I crochet, I weave, I do some painting, very little, but enough. I do homesteading, and that's a separate part that I keep different than the regular crafts or the fiber arts. So if you are interested in anything like that, there are other videos. And then I have quite a few videos of all the things that I've made, the things that I'm making. I even have a market video where I made some little things excuse me, to take to a farmer's market. And I decided against that. It's not definitely not going to happen, but it's not going to happen right now until I figure out how. Yeah, it's going to take a few things to be lined up. But anyway, I hope you're doing great this morning. I am trying to get this done before I take my husband to the doctor's. So hopefully we can hang out for a little bit, grab you something to drink, and I'll show you what I've done. Now, on another video, I showed you a Call the Midwife blanket that I did. And that's one of my favorite patterns. And I say one of because I have so many that I like. I think this was about maybe 2 or 3 videos ago that I showed this. I will post the link down below so that if you don't want to go back to the other video, you can go down to the website and see how to do the pattern. It's a very simple, straightforward pattern. It's one of the ones that is a go-to when I don't really have a project in mind, but I need something to keep my hands busy. That's one of the ones I go to. Now, in my last video, I told y'all that I was finished with the Moogly rainbow baby blanket. Well, I'm finished with the squares up to a point. I am waiting on Hobie to get my gray back in stock so that I can get that finished up. So that project's on hold. And I'm usually a one crochet or one knit project kind of girl. I don't like having a lot of whips. Right now I have 2 crochet whips, unfortunately, because they both are dependent on that gray yarn. One is a cover-up top for my daughter-in-law for our cruise in October. And that is a white to black gradient, which that gray that I need from Hobie is one of those. And then the crocheted rainbow blanket from Moogly that it has the last round of each square in gray, and then the joining color is gray. So I put the cover up to the side, not realizing that the gray that I would need for the Moogly blanket would also be the same gray. I was like, oh, great, I can make this baby blanket because it's, little square motifs that I can sew together later, which is perfect for summertime. And I'm in South Carolina, so it's summertime. It's something way too hot for big blankets. So those 2 projects got put on hold. And I started knitting a hand towel. That's one of my fallbacks in knitting when I want something mindless. That are my socks. And I've got some Hobie yarn that I bought that was being discontinued, some pretty little solid sock yarn. I like variegated or self-striping yarn in my socks. Usually I use the solids for toes or stuff like that. So what I think I might do is I have an entire, it's 18 by I think it's 18 inches wide by 20 inches deep and 55 inches tall little chest to where I keep my undies and then my socks. Well, those are the first 2 drawers. Every drawer underneath that is my sock yarn because it's going to be socks, right? It's socks, they just haven't been made. So I think I'm going to go dig around in there and have a yarn picked out for my next mindless knit. I do want to see about getting, I'm doing a lot, sorry. I did all my chores, did my greenhouse, but I just now got my caffeine, so my brain is a little sluggish this morning. I only have the one soda a day to get my caffeine, so it's taken a minute to kick in. But usually I have been, in the past few projects, I've been knitting my niece little tank tops. And I'm trying to give myself a break on those because we know that I am apt to do a project over and over and over and over until I get burnt out on it. And I'm trying not to do that, okay? So I picked up just my sugar and cream cone yarn and started making another hand towel. Well, after I do that, I think I will, if I don't have a project in mind, my next mindless will be another pair of socks. I have, I want to say, about 20 to 25 pairs already, so I was trying to give myself a break. I haven't knit socks. I want to say almost a year. I haven't had socks on my needles. No, it hasn't been that long. I think I just made a pair in August. But it's been a minute, which is very unusual for me because normally that is something that stays on my hook. I mean, my needles, because I have 9-inch circular needles that I do my socks on. Now I'll bring out the double pointed needles for, the toes and my Kitchener stitch. Actually, I think they're calling that a graft stitch now. I don't know. I always call it the Kitchener. But normally that's what I kept on my needles, was at least a pair of socks for on the go, that type thing. But then I got big into a lot of knitted hand towels because I like crocheted washcloth and stuff, but for my hand towels, I like the feel, and it's texturally more like a hand towel to feel it when you knit the hand towel versus crochet it. But I like the nubbiness of the dish rags, for those type things. But anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. I do that. So today I went through, let me give you a little bit of background on this. I have a very good amount of, probably about a quarter of my stash is baby yarn. So I wanted to work a lot of that out. Some of it has been gifted to me. Some of it, like my best friend, she sent me some that she had done. She was making little squares for some baby blanket or granny square blanket. And it was one of those projects she sat down and she never got interested again. So she sent me the yarn and the little squares that she had made. Well, I made the little squares into, wow, that's been a minute. I think it was for Lovey, maybe. It's been a long minute. So with the rest of it, I just caked it up, put it in my cabinet, and didn't really mess with it. So when I got put on hold for my cover up and my Moogly blanket, I said, what can I crochet? So I have 2 projects. But anyway, I was thinking, all right, it's hot. I don't want to do anything squares because I just got finished with a lot of squares. So I wanted to do something a little different. So I picked up some baby yarn out of my stash and said, what's the 2 things that I do the most often? Call the midwife and corner to corner. So let me do the call the midwife first, and then I'll get to the corner to corner with that yarn I was telling you from my best friend. So this is a small baby blanket, and these are sport weight, so they're perfect for the type of non-heavy if you don't want to do squares. And it's small. It's like a little carrier size or a receiving blanket, that kind of thing. Sorry about that. I didn't bring my water over here. But anyway, it is a Call the Midwife, and it's got 4 different colors. Now, I did combine different yarns. The Red Heart Soft Baby is discontinued. It was just something I had in my stash. It was in, and this will tell you kind of how old this stuff is. So I did, this is New Mint, and I think this is Sky Blue. Yeah. So these are 2 of them. And I used the last little bit of some Bernat Baby. Now those were, all of this is 3 sport weight or DK weight if you're not in the US. I had a lot more of those than I did of the Bernat Bernat Baby, and that one was funny print. Now that one is this right here. Let me see if I can hold it up a little better. I only had enough for 2. Actually, I think I did. Yeah, I did 2 of each color, 2 sections of each color. But the funny print is that one right there. And I like it because it's got blues and greens and whites, so it went perfectly with the New Mint and the Sky Blue. And then I used, sorry, I do apologize for that. I used the Bernat Baby in just plain white for the white sections. And like I said, I love Call the Midwife. It's such a repeat, and you can really read the row below, so you don't even have to look at a pattern. If you're, even when you're new to doing the pattern, you can do it one time, and then by the second or third little sections, you already know what's coming, so you don't even have to have the pattern. It's a good. I like to do these while I'm streaming shows and whatnot. And right now I am getting caught up on the show on Hulu. It's almost like a sister show of Grey's Anatomy, but it's called Station 19. And this is good for that kind of thing. That and my knitted hand towel. But anyway, so these were done, I don't know if I said, with a 4.5 millimeter hook. That's a little bigger because it calls for a 4. But I like the drapiness. If you use a little bit bigger hook, so I tend to use just at least 1 size to 2 sizes up. So it called for a 4. I used a 4.5. I probably could have even went with 5, but I don't like it to be too holy. Now, a Call the Midwife has, of course, the openings and the holes in them anyway, but I don't like it to be so drapey that, it's too holy. So anyway, I will link that down below. And it's, it obviously I, could probably make 2 or 3 more with these. So I didn't get rid of as much baby yarn as I wanted to, and that's okay. I'll use it again. It's discontinued yarn, and it's older yarn, but it's not going to go bad. It's not dry rotted. I did the test before I started making anything with it. So that comes to the yarn that my best friend sent me from Kansas. No, Missouri. No, Kansas. It's Kansas. She don't live in Missouri. That's what she calls Missouri. She says Missouri, which she's right there, like me in Augusta, Georgia. You know, she's right there on the border. So, because it takes me about the same amount of time to get to Augusta, Georgia, as it does for her to get to, because, you know, it's Kansas City, Kansas, and then Kansas City, Missouri. They're right there. You know, it's almost like Augusta, Georgia, and North Augusta, South Carolina. So, kind of the same principle. But anyway, now this beautiful, oh, let me put my Call the Midwife back over here so I can get it out of my lap. So this pretty little thing, I love these colors. And I tried to remember what, and it's so soft. I mean, it's not as soft as it will be once it's washed, but it is so soft. I love this. Isn't those colors beautiful? It almost reminds me of like a spring Easter type thing. And this could be for girl or boy. Now, the Call the Midwife blanket, sorry, I did hit my microphone. The Call the Midwife blanket is obviously mostly blue. So, but this one could go either way. And I really love it. Now, it's a simple design. It's a corner to corner. Corner to corners are, I mean, I've done like Grafgans and stuff with corner to corner. So it's one of the ones that I like to do as a backup. And it's one I was getting burnt out on for quite a few years because that's all I did. But I just needed something a little mindless again. And I really wanted to use this yarn. And I tried different ways. I thought the block stitch would look good with it. But I didn't like how the colors were falling. So I ripped it out. And because I was using white and this color yarn. Now, like I said, my best friend sent it to me years ago. And when I caked them up, I don't know what I did with the ball band. I'm thinking it was a Red Heart Baby, but I can't be 100% sure. I know it's a 3-weight. It's a sport weight. So I'm thinking it might have been I think it had Fruity in the name. I really can't tell you. Let's see. It's probably been 5 or 6 years that she sent me this. Maybe not quite that long. Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. And Tina, if you do happen to see this, tell me, see if you can remember and leave a comment or text me or something. Tell me how long it's been since you sent me these. But so this is what was left over, and it was I think it equaled about 2 balls of baby yarn. And I think it was the smaller balls, almost like, it's not the same kind as Bernat Softy, but it was those smaller skeins. And they were both partially used, so I just caked them up together. And I don't know what I did with the ball band, but I'm thinking it was something like Red Heart. I think it was a Red Heart Baby and Fruity something. I don't know, but regardless of the name, it's discontinued anyway. So I do know that. I do know that yarn. I think it discontinued not long after she sent me this. And that might have been why she put it down, because she didn't have enough to complete the bigger project that she wanted to do. So she sent it to me because there's no telling what I'm going to do with things. But anyway, this, I didn't use all of this color. I mean, there's probably less than, I want to say maybe less than 100 grams left. So not much at all. And I was thinking I might do a, just when I want something else mindless, I'm going to keep that. And then the white, the Bernat baby that I did for the, call the Midwife. I think I might do something with those two colors. It will probably be a corner to corner because, like I said, I tried different um, stitch patterns with this yarn, and I really didn't like how it came out, except for the corner to corner. I probably could have done the side to side, corner to corner type. It's not block stitch, but it's something else. I can't remember. But it might look okay. I liked the way the colors fell doing corner to corner, and I will link Mikey's tutorial from years ago. I don't know if he has that one or if he's updated it. I don't need it anymore, so I haven't looked at his old tutorials. But regardless, even if it's a new tutorial from him, he is the hands down my favorite for tutorials for things like this. So I will link that down below. And because there's plenty, I could do a tutorial on it, but there's plenty of people who do them, so I don't need to do a corner to corner unless y'all have tried others and it doesn't make sense and Mikey doesn't click for you. Everybody clicks with different teachers and stuff like that, just like in school. So it's kind of the same principle. But if you do need if you need a tutorial of any kind, let me know. I don't think my emails are working because someone said that they had sent me an email and I didn't get it. So I don't know what's going on with that. So just leave me a comment in one of my videos. And if nothing else, I can reach out to you on another platform, or I have Facebook. I have Facebook Messenger. We can connect on there. But anyway, so this is a very small little blanket. It's probably 24 by 24, so it's perfect for a car seat cover or carrier cover, or another receiving blanket. I like this size simply because I can do it without getting overheated, and it's a quick, instant gratification thing with me. Yes, I know that's awful to say, but I like my long projects, and then sometimes, especially in hot weather, I like my quick, ready to do, boom, and done. And on that one, I used a 4.5 millimeter as well. It was my clover hook, I tend to, sorry about that, spam. It even tells you now on the phone, spam risk. So click, especially when I'm talking to y'all, right? So when I was going through my baby yarn, I found an old project that I sat down. Now this is about 5 years old. I put this down because, well, this is before the cotton cakes came out to be, the 4-strand cotton cakes, before they came to be this huge fad, or I shouldn't say fad, before it became very popular. And this one was gifted to me. It was ordered from a company that is no longer in business, so I'm not even going to bother with that. But a friend of mine ordered it and had it shipped to me. And it is Georgia Bulldog, red and black, of course, because we know I'm a dog. I'm a Georgia girl. So I found, and the funny thing is where's the pattern? Oh, the poor pattern, as you can see, it's been in this little grocery bag for a long time, and apparently I printed it out in Office or Word or something, because I didn't print it from a website, because there's no headers, no footers, no name. It's a scalloped top, because it says gauge in scallop stitch, 14 stitches and 6 rows is 4-inch squares. So yeah, so I was gonna work on it before those blankets, because I found it when I was looking at the baby yarn, and I remember why I put it down. Because honestly, it is more of a size for my size 0 niece. I love you, Taylor. um, it's like a cross of my size and her size. Well, even this is so I quit smoking about 8 years ago, and this was after that, when I had put on weight from not smoking anymore. And this thing, while it is gorgeous, and it's not finished, it's not even sewn together except for the shoulders. Y'all can see it's kind of long and skinny, right? Which, until the last few months and I've started losing weight, I was not long and skinny anymore. I hope to get back to that. I'm trying really hard, because I have issues with my legs. I need both knees replaced, and they won't do it because medical issues. But anyway, so the best thing I can do for my knees is to stay light. For most of my life, I've always been on the skinnier side or thinner side. Normally, I go between 134 and 137. Well, after I quit smoking, and then I put on a few pounds of that. I lost some of that, and then I started working, and I started getting really stressed out at work, and catching a lot from that, and I put on weight from that too. And wine, that puts weight on you too. So I haven't had a glass of wine in probably about 4 or 5 months, I think. Just, it used to be I would drink one glass of wine maybe once a year. Usually that was like New Year's or something like that, and that was plenty. So I'm kind of back on that track. I got rid of most of the stresses that the outside world put on me, and now I'm doing my homesteading, and being home, and concentrating on my family, and providing for them the best way, non-monetarily, that I can. And that's brought me a lot better position than being in the automotive industry, where it is not kind to a female. So anyway, sorry, got on a tangent. So I'm not long and skinny anymore, but I really don't have the heart to take this apart yet. I like it, and I'm going to try to show you, because okay, so the way these cotton cakes work is they're 4 strands, and this is like 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. But the way it is, it's 4 strands held together. They're not twisted, they're not spun together. They're just 4 single strands. And I've made some of these myself, because I had a lot of cone thin super thread type yarn for machines. So I've made quite a bit of these. This I did not make. This one was bought and sent to me. But so what happens is, I don't know how long this is running, but I'll be quick. So they're 4 strands of red, and then they replace one of the strands of red with black. So you run a little while with that, and they have little gauge counters, row counters, to kind of give you an idea of where you're at. I didn't have that. I just used weight measurements, and then they take a second one and replace a second red with black, and that goes for a little ways, and then it takes red completely out and goes straight black. I like the design of this, and with it being scalloped, it stretches. But I'm not as body positive about my body as a lot of people are, and I'm jealous of them. I don't like to see rolls on myself. I don't like to see my flaws. And even though this stretches, I don't think I would be comfortable with it. I think it would be, it's kind of like I was telling you, that top that I knitted when I was at my last job. I may try it on when I get further down to my weight goal, to where I can see if I want to rip it out or not. But what I'm thinking is, I told you the shoulders are seamed. So they're not seamed. As you can see, I have them just tied with yarn. So it would be really easy to pull these 2 panels apart. Let me show you. But you know that niece I was telling you, see, like there's 2 pieces. The niece that is a size 0, she's also a Georgia girl. So what I could do is I could take one, it's a front and back panel, but I could take one panel and cake that up and make her a cute little Georgia tank top with it. Because, let me see if I can fold this. All right. Yeah, see? That would probably work for her perfectly, and I could get all the color gradients in. I don't know. What do you think? Leave me a comment down below. See if you think that would look cute. To give you an idea, this is the last tank top that I made for her. I haven't set the color or anything yet, but this is about the size she is. Yes, she's very, very tiny. She's 26 years old, and tiny as tiny can be. So that would actually work great with a panel. And I think that it would show the gradient in the color well too. And I've not tried knitting with 4 strands that's not spun together, but I think that would work great. What do you think? I don't want to make a decision right away, but that's what I'm leaning towards, because I do like the yarn. And I think the tops I've made her have been 100% cotton. But I think with this being 50 cotton, 50 acrylic, it won't be too hot. And, she can wear like a little black cami underneath it. So I don't think that I want to finish it for myself. Simply because I don't know that would be. Because even when you go back down to your previous weight, your body has changed some. And like I said, I don't have that body confidence that a lot of women do. That if you see a pudge here and there, they're like, oh, that's just my body, and I'm proud that my body birthed 2 children and done its job for me over the years, but I'm not so proud that I want to show my flaws. But anyway, so I know I'm going to hold off on ripping the T-shirt that I knit up, but I would like some input on this one. on that Georgia Bulldog top, because I would, I'm back and forth on that. So I have talked y'all's ear off enough. I hope you've enjoyed, what I showed you today. Like I said, I will link the tutorial to Mikey for the corner to corner, and then I will link the website for the Call the Midwife down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Just make sure you leave a comment, because I'm not sure what's going on with the email situation right now. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. I am a new channel, and I'm trying to, get seen. And when you like or comment, that puts the YouTube great algorithm gods happy or something. It does get it out to see more people. So like, subscribe, that would be great. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye.